your ass!
Hello everybody, this is a video on something where it's in the title, yeah. I'm just off fence because I had a job interview, but yes. A certain user a few months ago, this is the first time I read this on his channel. Now I've blocked him from making comments on my channel and my videos, and people say, oh, you endorse censorship. Yeah, with this specific case I do, and a lot of other people. You know, usually I just block trolls, but this guy I had to block because he stonewalled, strawmanned, you know, made strawman arguments against me, and so being fucking stupid, I'd defend the strawman arguments when I really shouldn't have. I just said that's not my argument. Eventually I did say that. But he leaves hundreds of comments, and if you try to refute one of them, or you know, he'll leave a few comments, and if you try to refute the comment that he makes, you get into a week-long debate. 3 weeks I once had with him debating shit. It was hell, because you know, you wake up every morning having to. The shit was so stupid, and you only got 500 characters. You can't post links to websites confirming that. It's too difficult. I can't be bothered. I couldn't be bothered with him because he was creating straw man arguments out of what I was saying, and had a different opinion on what a TV show should be. Now, and this is leads to the argument. His argument has been, and many people have taken this on, and I've seen it all over YouTube now, mainly from users, not people who make videos, because people who actually make videos know better than to say this stupid shit. And that was, Russo could have saved WCW. Now this person who originally made the comment, I don't think he said that, so I'm not entirely aiming this at him. I'm using it against people who have said this and things of this nature. Vince Russo could have saved WCW with the 0.5 to 0.6 ratings increase. Yeah, that's a big increase in ratings when he came in, but ratings don't mean everything. I don't know why people keep thinking this. I don't know why people follow ratings so intently. You know, what should matter more at this time is buy rates, is house show attendances, pay-per-view show attendances, and like TV taping attendances. That's the kind of shit you should be watching, because those are bigger revenue sources than television most of the time. And that's why WCW was losing money. Vince Russo came in, I'm not blaming this on Russo, but he came in, and if you read The Death of WCW, it's by Brian Alvarez and R.D. Reynolds, you'll see, as they say, Vince Russo brought in a type of business model or booking model that wasn't conductive to WCW's pay-per-views or live show attendances. You know, it was a type of model of high turnover of titles, meaning that pay-per-views meant less, which means people wouldn't buy pay-per-views because they can just see the good shit on TV anyway, or the, you know, and it's proof, not proof, but I'm not saying it's entirely Russo's fault. If you look at the buy rates of pay-per-views when, you know, after he came in, I mean, they were already going down, but they either stayed the same as what they were when they were at their lowest, or went down further. Same thing with live show attendances. I'm not saying that other people did worse than Russo, did better than Russo at that time, because there was a lot of stupid people running WCW. Kevin Sullivan, Eric Bischoff, and Vince Russo working together. It's not just Vince Russo as well; it's also Ed Ferrara. But the people, you know, jumped to Vince Russo's defense, saying he could have saved WCW if he was given enough time. No, because buy rates were still fucking low, and I mean low. I'm talking, you know, extremely fucking low. House show attendances and you know, Nitro attendances were low. So yeah, and the only reason ratings had such a priority at the time, and people still think it's still the Monday Night Wars, was because of the Monday Night Wars. If Superstars and Impact ran head to head, ratings would mean more, because it would be able, you know, even then it's a fucking pissing contest. But if you're competing for the same market, you know, the wrestling fans, and you've got one show here, whatever gets the higher ratings, all the advertisers are going to want to get that. That means they're making more money from that. You know, that was why it was, the ratings war was such a big deal. And even then, even though ratings had jumped for WCW when Vince Russo showed up, they still weren't anywhere near what WWF was doing at the time with Monday Night Raw. So yeah, there is that. And so a lot of and they'd lose a lot of sponsors who were looking to sponsor wrestling. They would just go WWF instead because they had a high rating show. So yeah, and look, and I'm not going to say this many times, or any time after this, unless it's a different argument. Pay-per-view bar rates mean more than TV ratings, because if you've got a pay-per-view which sells a lot, then that's good because it means you make a lot of money from that. But if pay-per-view wasn't making as much money as TV, nobody will run pay-per-views. But what do? They run a lot of pay-per-views because they make money, except for in TNA's case when they should be doing 60,000 buys per, or when they were still running TV and not house shows, they were supposed to be doing 60,000 buys per pay-per-view for the company to break even, and they weren't. And they still aren't. The ratings are actually, the pay-per-view buy rates are going down, even though the ratings are going up. I think the live show attendances have been going either nowhere or down, depending on. It's hard to compare the markets because they don't run enough house shows and they don't have a big history of house shows. And their first series of house shows was obviously attendances would be high because fans were waiting to see it, and they're less likely to go a second time. So there is that. But this argument that Russo could have saved WCW with higher ratings is bullshit, because they were still bleeding money when it came to pay-per-views and live shows. So don't use that argument for Vince Russo. There are plenty of other ones you can use. And whenever people use this, it's always when people criticize the product that Vince Russo put out. That was, David Arquette being champion, 15 title changes in a week or something. That's a hyperbole, but you know what I'm talking about. So people, combat the criticisms of, the product with, oh, but look at the ratings it got on. Look at the, the figures it made. Product and business are two different things to compare. You can't do it. It's stupid. Don't do it, please. Thank you. Have something that's amazing, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be commercially successful. I enjoyed Watchmen. I thought it was an incredible movie. But it was never going to be commercially successful. So for my next video spectacular, or my next video coming up, the spectacular video, I have this for you, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's only about, that's probably I don't know, maybe 5 standard drinks or something, 5 or 10. I'll probably be getting more, but that's mainly when I'm going to be drinking straight, and I'll try to do it in under an hour and then do a video. Yes, let's have a look. 37% alcohol content, 20 standard drinks. So that's what, maybe a bit over a third, or maybe a bit under half. So maybe 10 standard drinks or something. Yes, I'm gonna get wasted on camera for you fuckers, and I haven't drank in months because I've been busy. Subscribe. Don't get the swine flu.